Good afternoon. This is Yvonne Wesa with Short Sale Advocates, LLC. I hope it's as beautiful and sunny where you are as where I am today. Today we're going to talk about, our subject is, there are two options with the short sale. One, the seller pays the processing fee. And the other, which we do not charge the seller, the homeowner, anything, but our buyer pays our short sale fee, and we've been doing this for lots of years now. To recap, what is a short sale? A short sale is a situation where a homeowner needs to sell their home for a variety of reasons. They don't have a choice, and the market value is lower than what the payoff is on the mortgage. So let's talk about our question today. I have a very good friend who does run a good short sale business, but her process is charging the seller. We have a choice in the matter, and I have my own personal opinions about charging a seller. I guess I work with the sellers so furiously, trying to keep them afloat and just have them survive until we can finish the short sale process. Generally, their hardship involves some sort of incapacity, but a lot of times it revolves around their monetary situation, either loss of job or divorce or something that impacts them dramatically financially. Even the medical issues oftentimes involve additional expenses that they are going to have to resolve after we finish the short sale. So here are the facts as we see them. First of all, my friend's opinion is that the buyer gets a better deal, and they're able to attract buyers more easily than when we are involved and charge the buyer. This is so not true. Our homes stay active on the market for whether there are our homes or other realtors that we represent. They stay on the market a very short time, right now 2 to 4 days probably, because there are no homes available. We've never had any trouble finding a buyer. If we were charging the seller, we would have to, if the seller doesn't have money, they would owe us even after closing. They would be on a payout schedule. And our option is to let the seller go free and clear, be done with this episode. It's painful enough in their life. Our buyers pay the same thing, factor in the, it's a minimum of $3,600, but we work for months for that. And buyers, investors know what we go through. So they're just happy to have a home, a property for investment purposes, to either resell, to flip, or a lot of them today, with rental prices so high in every area, a lot of our investors are buying homes to do the repairs, and sometimes that's minimal, and then rent them out. So the buyer's choice is to factor in the short sale fee, whatever that is, and still end up with a really good deal. And with us, they're pretty sure of getting that home, even though it might take 2 or 3 or 4 months. I think we're moving a little faster than the 6 to 8 months from last year. We have some conventional loans right now that are getting approved within less than 3 months. So just depends on the loan. FHA will always be a little bit slower in processing. So the shortage of homes right now is a big factor in the turnaround. However, we've been doing this all through the handling 20 to 40 short sale properties at a time during the turn down in the economy. And I don't think we ever had trouble finding a buyer. We prefer to work with investors just because the owner occupancy client just has a little trouble understanding why they have to wait so long to move into their home. And so they understand it initially, but then we get down the road about 2 or 3 months and they begin to call their agent on a weekly or even daily basis, wondering what the status is. And we do keep in touch with everyone. But so it's easier to work with investors because they work with a lot of these. The investor is buying, this is their niche to buy short sales. Foreclosed properties today are in a little rougher shape as a whole than the short sale. So the buyer figures out what the market value of that home is. And they're very smart, and there's a lot of easy ways for the buyer to figure that out. So there's no mystery. They're not overpaying for the property, and our fee does not magnify their investment at all. Another, there are RESPA rules, which are real estate violations if you don't handle things properly. And it's all about disclosure. All of the people involved with our process sign disclosures that they know this is a short sale process. And the lien holder on every contract that is written, it clearly states that Short Sale Advocates is processing the short sale for a fee. So we have full disclosure. The fees can be high for a home to a seller. For a home, $200,000 to $300,000, it can be $10,000 to $15,000 to the seller to process. So just to give you a little additional information, it's something we haven't covered before. My client example today is an investor who had been investing, and he was a property manager managing 200 properties, but he'd been doing it for 25 or 30 years. He and his wife were getting older, and both of them had major health problems. So he could no longer maintain his personal inventory of properties. He gave us 6. So just imagine if he were paying the fees as the seller on all 6 of those properties, it would really impact his recovery quite dramatically. I know in this instance, I know they did not have extra funds. They had medical expenses out of pocket. She was going to have to quit her job, and he had a year left before he was going to have to quit because he could no longer maintain the physical involvement of his job, nor could he maintain his own properties just for the same reason. So we had 4 different lien holders on 6 properties. It was a huge challenge. dealing with 6 properties for the same person, it was difficult. We had to file individually with all, even the one that was the same lien holder. They had to be filed like separate entities. They were not connected in any way. So it was between 60 and 80 documents initially go to the bank. And that includes a lot of personal information. They filled out a financial statement, which had to have the correct lien holder information, loan numbers, and everything had to be on all 6 packages that went to the lien holder. And that's a challenge. We did not charge any extra for that. We just found different buyers for each property and worked with each buyer the same as we do if it's just one property. So, but we were in touch with the same homeowner or investor who owned the properties, but often, because we had responses from lien holders at a different time each week, every day. So each buyer got a deal. Each buyer, I think, got a steal, because they were all in areas that were at that time had faced a downturn in their market value. So that it was impossible for him to sell them and for either he or his wife to go on with their life. We finished all 6. It took between 4 months and 13 months, I believe, to finish the last 2 properties. So whatever your problem with your mortgage, your health, your financial situation,